Hey, what's up? It's Jeff. I just want to make this video as a follow-up to this video over here where I was testing 3 LLMs for my voice AI agent. And the reason I'm making this video is because a lot of the pitfalls and struggles I talked about in that video were actually solved just by upgrading the infrastructure. I kind of mentioned that in the last video, and then also revising my prompts. So I was talking about things like pauses in between turns, and like the latency in between turns was a little bit too long. And no matter what I did, whether I was prefetching and then caching availability, upgrading the LLM, things of that nature, speech to text and text to speech, they were already the best that they could be. But no matter what type of logic optimizations I made, I just couldn't make it any faster, because this whole time I've been building voice AI for a little bit now, and I had been using an older version of PipeCat. And if you don't know what PipeCat is, it's just a Python framework used to build voice agents. So I was building on an older version of that framework. So I'm trying to make all these optimizations. Meanwhile, PipeCat is over here making their system better, upgrading their infrastructure, and I just didn't update it. So I wasn't taking advantage of all the performance upgrades that they were making on their end. In that video, you'll see I was on like 0.88 or something like that. Then as soon as I upgraded to 1.2.1, boom, it just got faster. Definitely keep your systems upgraded. And then another thing I did was reduce prompt size by close to like 50%, I think, around 50%. I trimmed a lot of fat because I started using smarter LLMs, which means the bot needed less handholding. So I didn't need as many strict and verbose instructions in the prompts because I'm using GPT 5.4 instead of 4.1. The LLM's already better at following instructions, which means I could safely cut from the prompts and still have the same functionality. Even since that video, I upgraded again to version 1.3 for PipeCat, especially because on the release notes, they specifically mentioned that they improved the smart turning. And I'll probably put a screenshot of that up here. But if the underlying system gets better, you got to follow suit so that your overall bot keeps up and follows the trend of always getting better, which, like I mentioned in the last video, that's one of the value propositions of AI. Right now, at this point in time, is the worst it's going to be, and it's only ever going to get better. So you got to stay up to date. But I want to make this one really quick. So GPT 5.4 is my new daily driver, not mini, but the regular 5.4. And we have the latest version of PipeCat. So we're going to do a test call, and I'm going to pull up the metrics again. And then we're going to see the improvement that the context reduction in the prompts made and the infrastructure upgrade with PipeCat. So we're going to do a test call, and then we'll look at the metrics.
Thanks for calling Brunswick Roofing. This is Riley. How can I help you today?
Hey, Riley. I was just looking to get a roof replacement.
Okay, I can definitely help with that. Just to make sure we can help, are you the homeowner?
I'm not, but I am the property manager, so I am authorized to handle renovations.
Got it. What day or time works best for you?
Do you have anything on Monday?
Sure thing. I have Monday at 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. Which works better?
Let's go with 8:30.
Monday, June 1st at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Can I get your first name for the booking?
Jeff?
Got it, Jeff. And what's the address of the property we'll be inspecting?
98 Brett Road in Piscataway.
And what's the zip code there?
08854.
Got it. So the address I have is 98 BRETT Road, Piscataway, New Jersey, 08854. Is that correct?
Yeah, but actually, can I change the appointment time to something in the afternoon?
I have Monday at 12 p.m. or 12:30 p.m. Which works better?
Let's go with 12.
Monday, June 1st at 12 p.m. Eastern. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
And can you spell out your email for me? At gmail.com. Is that correct?
Yeah.
We have your number as, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
You're all set. One of our specialists will see you at 98 Brett Road, Piscataway, New Jersey 08854 on Monday, June 1st at 12 p.m. Eastern. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that's it. Thank you. All right, so that was the call. and I actually kind of tweaked the backtracking logic. So ideally with a voice agent, you want to have different stages so that you're not just overwhelming the bot with tokens or context. So you want to have like greeting, qualification, scheduling, booking, so on and so forth. So I got to the booking stage, but then asked to change the time, which means the bot has to go back in the phases. So that worked out nicely. So that was just like a quick little personal test. But so now let's pull up the logs and see how this bot did latency wise. All right, so I'm going to put the metrics up here. But as you can see, a lot of the turns were under 1 second. There were some that went over, but overall the latency was really good. Now, as you can see, turn 14 was the actual like booking. That's always going to be a little bit higher. And some of that's outside of our control because I do use the Go High Level API, and that has its own latency. So the round trip latency there is tacked on to our system's latency. So, but besides that's pretty good. As you're going to see, it does say a mean of 1100, but if we exclude the latency from the booking, we get 1012 flat, which is really good, a lot better on average. I've done some calls where we got in the 900s, so definitely knocking on the door of sub 1 second. I think as Pipecat improves and also I continue optimizing my code and the prompts, I think I can get under 1 second consistently, which is really good because at that sub 1 second mark, that's when it starts to feel like a real human conversation speed wise. So there's not going to be any awkward pauses when you're under 1,000 milliseconds. All right, so I actually just did one more test call just to look at the latency metrics, just to see the variance. And, you know, like I said before, other calls I've done has gotten like 900, even 800. And this call had a mean of 849 milliseconds. Now, again, just like the call you saw, the booking and even like the very last stage, which is ending the call, drove up the latency, which especially for booking, that's expected to have some latency, even like in a real human call. But yeah, excluding those, latency was really good, well under a second. And we only had the two outliers at the very end. But besides those two turns, we had really good latency. So yeah, this system's definitely getting better with the Pipecat upgrades and the lean prompt. So yeah, definitely going to keep everything up to date. I think Pipecat has done a really good job in improving over the last few months, and these LLMs are getting really good, which helps a lot with the prompting and instruction following, and also latency as well. So you're getting more intelligence with less overhead latency wise. So yeah, just want to make the follow-up video just to talk about the pitfalls that I just solved within the last few days. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to continue documenting this process of improving the voice agent and also hopefully the agency side of things, like I said in the last video, because at the end of the day, that is the main goal, providing a good product for the customer. So I will see you in the next one.